What's going on, everybody? It's Nick with Facemask Fantasy, continuing to provide Dynasty assets to consider buying and selling over the course of the offseason. So if you like what you see and hear from the channel, I just ask that you like the video and subscribe. Today, looking at a wide receiver whose value might remain low for the short term, but could pay big dividends no later than the start of the 2025 season. The Seattle Seahawks made a significant investment last year when they selected wide receiver Jaxon Smith-Njigba in the first round of the 2023 draft. JSN was widely regarded as the top receiver in last year's class, but the expectations didn't match the results in his rookie campaign. Working behind well-established veterans in DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, Smith-Njigba turned 93 targets into 63 catches for 628 yards and 4 touchdowns. He was the first pass catcher selected in 2023, but was outproduced by a significant number of his peers in one way or another. Now he enters a sophomore campaign with a Seahawks offense that will likely look very similar to last year's group. There have been whispers Seattle could engage in trade talks involving Metcalf, but nothing appears to be imminent at the moment. On top of that, the team agreed to a contract restructure with Lockett, keeping him around for at least one more year. So as of right now, JSN remains third on the Seahawks wide receiver depth chart. Put it all together, and it's a good time to test the waters on a trade to acquire Smith-Njigba in your Dynasty League. There are a couple of variables at play here. The glass-half-full outlook is that Seattle does not have a lot of salary cap room over the next couple of years. If they do, in fact, look to get the team in a position to have more financial flexibility for the future, then the rumors that Metcalf could be on the move may have some legs. As for Lockett, he'll turn 32 shortly after the 2024 season starts and could be on the way out after this year. So the optimistic view is that Smith-Njigba could be the team's number one receiver in a year's time. He, of course, has some work to do to prove he's earned the right, but the path certainly exists. And of course, having been the 20th overall pick last year, Seattle has a vested interest in growing his role. Now, the glass half empty factor is we simply didn't see all that much from JSN. Yes, he had 60 catches as the third option in the pecking order, which is pretty good, but he only averaged 10 yards per catch and cleared 50 yards receiving in just 4 games. Including the tight ends, there were 9 or 10 rookies with more impressive 2023 campaigns than Smith-Njigba. And as a result, it's possible the person in your Dynasty League who has him will have some trepidation with him as long as Metcalf and Lockett are still on the team. But that should also mean Seattle doesn't add any other receivers with significant draft capital. It's just not a need for them, especially given the state of the rest of their team. As for coaching changes, longtime head coach Pete Carroll is out, who notoriously oversaw a conservative offense that continued to run the ball more than most teams in the league. New head coach Mike McDonald is a defensive guy, so we'll quickly spotlight new offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. Grubb was hired after leading the Washington Huskies to a prolific season on offense that culminated in a national championship game appearance against Michigan. We'll see if a change in philosophy is coming for Seattle in the form of more passing volume. All told, Jaxon Smith-Njigba's value is pretty lukewarm at the moment. If you have another second-year player like a Jordan Addison or Zay Flowers, consider taking a gamble by flipping one of those guys for JSN. It might be a tough sell, but you might be able to get a pot sweetener in such a deal considering both Addison and Flowers had better rookie campaigns. But JSN's opportunity to ascend figures to be in the near future if you are willing to be patient. He's a buy right now if you can take advantage of a lull period before the NFL draft. I'll, of course, continue to monitor potential Dynasty assets to buy or sell, but what do you guys think? Put any thoughts in the comment section you have below, and we can have a conversation about this. Till then, this is Nick with Facemask Fantasy. Thanks for listening.